Hi guys. So I'm gonna make another attempt at a Facebook Live yoga class for you guys so that we can stay connected during this time of uncertainty. I do think that we are on the verge of the studio closing, and that makes me really sad, and I want to stay connected with you guys. So my aim is to upload a practice every day for our monthly members. And they won't all be an hour, some will be short. I know that a lot of us are going to be home, working from home, with children at home soon. So I will aim to upload lots of different lengths of classes and flows so that you can get at least some kind of practice in every day. I'm making this available only to monthly members who are willing to stay with me during this time, to help me keep paying the studio rent so I can keep the studio alive until we come back soon. So this is going to be a gentle flow. So let's get going. Thanks. Okay. And hopefully the videos will get better as I make them and I get better at them and get some more experience. But we'll see how we get on. All right, so we're going to start lying down as we do. Come onto your back. And let's bring the arms overhead and soften the elbows. I'm going to do this without any kind of props, any kind of help, because you guys might not have those things at this stage. So we'll just move our bodies in a gentle way. We'll get on our mats and we'll just see how things go. So let your arms be nice and comfortable. Shoulder blades drawing down your back, eyes closed, face relaxed. Let's bend the knees so that you can feel your low back and your middle back connecting with your mat, with the earth. And all we can really do right now in a time of uncertainty is to stay as present as we can. So let's remind ourselves during this practice that we are present. We are here. We are breathing. We are coping. As you start to tap into your practice breath, a slower, fluid breath, that you feel more. You hear it. You taste it. And you get really familiar with this breath. And then take your your feet and walk them as wide as your mat. Take your arms and lower them a little bit, maybe out into a T shape, or the elbows softly bent, and then let the knees drop side to side a few times, and take your time. So as your knees drop to the right, let them go all the way over before you come back to center and you take the knees back to the left. So sometimes we move so quickly that we don't allow ourselves the opportunity to feel what's really happening. physically and emotionally. So let's move at a slower pace for this practice. Let's take our time so we can feel things out. And then bring your knees back to center. And take your arms overhead. And like you've just woken up in the morning and you're taking a big long stretch. I've got a wall in the way with my feet there. Big long stretch. Letting the back body arch and lift away from the mat. And then relax. And then bend your knees again and walk your feet back towards your bum. And you can keep your arms overhead. I really like my arms overhead. It feels really good. But if you're more comfortable bringing your arms down by your sides, then bring them down by your sides. Let's take a breath in as we press down into the feet and lift the hips up as high as we can lift the hips here. And then as you exhale, slowly bring yourself all the way back down to the mat. So let's just flow with the breath here. So the inhale will lift your hips up towards the ceiling. And then the exhale will bring your hips all the way back down. Maybe you start to wave the body up, peeling the spine up as you lift the tailbone, the low back, the middle back, all the way up to the shoulder blades. And then waving it back down, so shoulder blades, middle back, low back, hips, tailbone. So maybe moving in a rhythmic wave of the body here, tuning into the speed of the breath. Inhaling as you rise up and exhaling as you wave back down. Let's do it one more time. Inhale as you rise up and exhale as you lower back down. And then one more time, bring your feet as wide as your mat and let your knees drop side to side a few more times. Feeling the pelvis rock side to side. Feeling any sensations that occur in the physical body here. Just notice them. And then let's come all the way back to center. And then let's come up. So roll over onto your side and come on up, and let's come into a tabletop, coming into hands and knees, bringing the knees under the hips, and then bring your hands under your shoulders, spread your fingers nice and wide, keep your arms straight as you inhale, dipping the belly down, lifting the bum, lifting the chest into cow, and then exhale, rounding the back, pushing down into the mat, lifting the navel up into cat. Inhaling as you dip down and exhaling as you round. And again, just follow the flow of the breath. Just keep going. Don't worry about any certain number of rounds. Just let the body move with the breath. One more time, inhaling to your cow shape. And exhaling into your cat shape. And then coming back to a neutral spine, bring your big toes to touch, sit your bum to your heels, walk your hands forward, soften your elbows, and relax your forehead down into your child's pose. Not everybody finds child's pose comfortable, so we won't stay here for too long. Just take a few breaths, seeing if you can let your body settle. Notice if you're feeling tight in the hip flexors today. And seeing if you can soften and relax rather than gripping and tensing. Just one more breath. And then start to walk your hands back in towards your knees. Take your weight forward into your hands. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees up. We're going to come into a squat shape, bringing the knees into the chest. The heels are up here, so we've not put the heels all the way down. Walk your hands forward so you can round through your back, your chin down towards your chest. Breathe. And then walk your hands all the way back towards your feet. And let's take the hips up. Keep a bend in the knees. Walk your feet nice and wide there. And grab onto opposite elbows and take a sway there side to side. So you can let your hips get involved in this sway. The knees can be nice and bent. Upper body heavy, a ragdolling down. Head relaxed so the neck feels nice and long rather than compressed. And then come back to center and relax your arms. And let's roll up nice and slow, coming all the way up to stand. Keep the arms nice and heavy and the shoulders round as you come up. And then as you rise up, roll your shoulders back in space. Keep your eyes closed. And then walk your feet so that they're about hips distance apart here. I'm going to turn to face you guys here because otherwise I'm going to smack a wall. So let's start with some half sun salutations. So we'll bring the feet about hips distance apart. If you're feeling a bit wobbly or off balance this morning, take your feet a little bit wider until you feel a little bit more stable. Take your arms by your sides and turn your palms to face forward. Take a deep breath in as you reach your arms up to the sky. And then as you exhale, bring your palms together and fold forward, softening your knees as you come all the way down into your Uttanasana. As you inhale, let's come up halfway, sliding the hands up the legs to find a flat back and straight legs. And then as you exhale, fold again, letting everything get soft as you drop the crown of your head down. And then inhale as you roll up and rise up and take your arms all the way back up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, taking your arms down by your sides. And then let's go again. Inhale, reaching up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rising, halfway lengthening. And exhale, folding. Inhale as you roll up, rise up, come all the way up. Take your arms to the sky. And exhale, arms by your sides. And we'll go again here. Inhale, reaching up, rising up. And exhale, folding, coming all the way down. And inhale, rising halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold again, softening. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Take your arms up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, take your arms down by your sides. So see how you feel here. Roll your shoulders back in space. Take your feet now a little bit wider on your mat. So let's actually go wider than the hips. And you don't need a super wide stance, but definitely wider than your hips. And then let's take those half sun salutations again with the feet at this wider stance. So take your arms by your sides. Take an inhale, reach your arms to the sky. And then as you exhale, fold again. Again, soften your knees as much as you need to here, dropping down. And then inhale as you rise up again into that flat back and straight legs, and then exhale, fold again. Inhale as you rise all the way up, taking your arms all the way up towards the sky, and exhale, arms by your sides. And let's go again. 2 more rounds, just like that. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And inhale, rise all the way up. And take your arms to your sides. And let's go one more time. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, folding. And inhale, rising halfway. And exhale, folding. Now stay here for a moment. And if your hands can come down onto the floor, maybe even just the fingertips, take a little bend in your right knee, take your hips to the right, and then go back to the left, just getting a little bit into those inner groins there. You can keep your upper body nice and relaxed. Just move side to side a few times there. And then come back to center and bring yourself all the way back up to stand. Take your arms all the way up towards the sky, and then release your arms by your sides. Now, let's take the the right toes here and turn your right foot out towards the right edge of your mat, the right front, well, the front of your mat. That makes more sense. And then take your left heel back towards the back of your mat. And we don't need a super wide stance here. We're gonna start to bend in that right knee. I just want you to make sure that your right knee is going forward rather than dipping in towards the left. So really press down into the pinky edge of that right foot. You can bring your hands onto your hips here. We're just gonna bend and straighten into that right leg a few times. And you might find here that maybe your stance is a little bit too long, maybe it's a little bit too short. I feel like my stance is a little bit too short because my knee wants to peek past my ankle. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a wider stance there, and I'm gonna keep my chest facing out towards the long edge of my mat as that right knee bends and straightens. And as we straighten, we're not gonna lock it out. We're just getting almost all the way straight. And keep the shoulders nice and soft. And then let's just add into this movement, taking the arms with you. So let's take the arms out wide, and then inhale as you straighten the right leg and reach your arms to the sky. And as you exhale, let's bend the right knee and reach the arms out wide. And again, inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. And let's go one more time. Inhale. And then exhale. Let's just hold on to this warrior two here for a moment. Reaching the arms out wide. Turn your palms to face towards me. Reach with the fingers. Take one more breath. And then exhale. Release the arms and straighten your right leg and turn your feet back to parallel. With your arms by your sides, take a deep breath in. Reach your arms to the sky. And as you exhale, let's fold again and come all the way back down. And again, if you can get your fingertips down onto the floor, or maybe grab books on your hands or blocks if you've got them. And then let your hips move side to side. So bending the left knee, taking the hips to the left, and then back to the right. And then coming back to center and inhale. Rise halfway, lengthen into a flat back and straight legs. And then exhale, fold again, dropping down. And then as you inhale, let's rise all the way up. Take your arms all the way up to the sky. And as you exhale, release your arms by your sides. Now we're going to turn the left toes now out to the left edge of your mat and turn your right heel back to the right. But then take your shoulders and stack them over your hips so that you're facing towards the long edge of your mat. And then we're going to bend and straighten. You can have your hands on your hips. You can just relax your arms down. And really pressing into the whole bottom of that left foot, focusing on the outer edge of the foot so that we're not dipping into the big toe edge. We're keeping the foot nice and the weight evenly distributed in that left foot. We're just going to bend and straighten here, keeping that right leg nice and straight and strong. And try not to lock out that left leg. Stop just before you get all the way straight. And then we're going to add the arms. Inhaling as the leg straightens, the arms reach up, and then exhale, opening into your warrior two. And again, inhaling and exhaling and inhaling and exhaling. And go again, inhale. And exhale, and I don't remember how many we did on the last side, so we're going to do one more. And then exhale. Hold on to this warrior two for a moment there. Reach the arms, but turn the palms to face in towards me. Reach the fingertips wide. Strengthen the arms. Take a deep breath. And then relax your arms. Turn your feet back to parallel. And again, let's take a deep breath in. And then fold, coming all the way down as you exhale. And then as you inhale, rise halfway, lengthening. And as you exhale, folding, dropping down. And then from here, we're going to heel toe the feet back to about hips distance apart. So bringing the feet back together, to about hips distance. Soften your knees and fold. And then round and roll nice and slowly all the way up to stand, taking your arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale as you release your arms by your sides. Now from here, let's bring the feet all the way together so that the big toes are touching. And we'll play with a little bit of balance here. So we'll bring the hands together, palms pressing. And let's start by feeling the weight around on the left foot. So rather than lifting the right foot all the way up off the mat, I just want you to come to the right toes so that you feel the right foot lifting. You feel most of your weight in your left foot and your left leg, but you still have that support of the right toes down, so you know that they're there. And then fix your gaze. So find your drishti, find that place where you're going to rest your gaze, and try to keep the eyes there rather than moving them around. Notice the breath, slowing down the breath, calming the breath here. We're not going to do anything crazy. And take one more breath. Now as you inhale, start to lift that right knee up. And as you exhale, slowly tapping those toes back down. Try not to put too much weight into that right foot. We're just going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, strengthening into that left ankle, and then exhale, tap the toes, not too much weight, just 1 more time. Inhale. And then exhale. Now put that right foot down, all the way next to the left. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So take the weight into the left foot and leg, come to the left, take the weight into the right foot and come to the left toes, getting light in the left foot. So you know that you're supported by your right leg, but you also know that your left toes are right there. Hold there, eyes fixed, shoulders soft, palms pressing. Breathe. And then inhale, lifting the left knee up. And exhale, barely touching those left toes down. And inhale. And exhale. And 1 more time, inhale. And then exhale. Put the left foot all the way down, relax your arms, and give your legs a shake. Let's do another half sun salutation. Bring your feet hips distance apart. Take an inhale, reach your arms to the sky. And as you exhale, fold, come all the way down. And then inhale, rise halfway again, lengthen. And as you exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, take your arms all the way up to the sky. And as you exhale, arms by your sides. And we're going to take another balance. So let's bring the feet together again. Big toes touching. And this time we're going to take the arms all the way up towards the sky. Keep the shoulders nice and soft and bring your right knee up into your chest. And if you want to keep those right toes touching down, you can do that. That's fine. Just keep as much weight as you can in the left foot. But if you want to try bringing that right knee up into the chest, bring it up. Activate the right leg. So flex or point that right foot. Reach with the fingers, soften the shoulders, and take 3 breaths. One more. And then relax your arms and relax that foot down right next to the left. We'll do that on the other side. So arms to the sky, left knee lifts up. Activate the leg and breathe. Stay strong through the standing leg, strong through the belly. And 1 more. And then bring your arms all the way back down and bring that leg back down and give your legs a shake. Okay, so to come down, we're going to squat back down. And so bend your knees, and as you come down, let your heels lift up. And we're going to come back into that squatty shape. So your heels are up. Walk your hands forward so you bring some weight forward into the hands. Rounding through the shoulders, letting the heels drop. And then walk your hands back in and step your feet back so that you can come back into a tabletop. And then from here, take an inhale, dip your belly down, lift your bum and lift your chest. And then as you exhale, round and push down into the mat to come into your cat. And then come back into a flat back. Walk your knees back and come all the way down. We're going to come to Sphinx pose. So come down onto your elbows with your elbows under your shoulders. Spread your feet back there. Press the tops of your feet down into the mat. Roll your shoulders back in space and breathe. Pressing the hip points down into the mat. If this feels like a lot, if you're getting some compression in your low back, start by pressing the hip points down into the mat to create a little bit more length in the low back. But if it still feels uncomfortable, slide your elbows forward until there's no compression in your low back, and you can hang here for a few breaths. We're going to take one more breath. And then come all the way down. And you can make a pillow with your hands and bring your forehead to your hands, or you can bring a cheek to the mat. We're going to lift the knees and we're going to swish the feet side to side a few times, letting the pelvis rock. And then bring your feet back down. Slide your hands back now so that they're in line with your shoulders, but they're going to come off of your mat. And I should say, if you don't have a mat, you can still do everything that we've just done. So your hands will come wider than your body, probably under your elbows, as wide as your elbows. Your elbows are facing up. We're going to inhale, rising up into a wide-armed cobra, rolling the shoulders back, and only come up as far as feels good. So you can stay quite low, or you can come up a little bit further, and then exhale, lower all the way back down. And let's do that again. Keep the back of the neck nice and long, so don't strain to look up. Inhale as you rise up, and exhale as you lower. Let's do that again. Inhale, and exhale, lower. Now let's add a little serpentine cobra here by inhaling as the right shoulder lifts and then the left. And then exhale as your right shoulder comes down and then your left. And again, inhale, right shoulder up and then left. And exhale, right shoulder down and then left. And then we're going to switch directions. So inhale the left shoulder up and then the right. And then exhale, left down, right down. And one more time, inhale, left up, right up. And then exhale, left down, right down. And then come all the way back down. If you had a cheek to the mat before, take an opposite cheek to the mat. Take your arms and just relax them by your sides. Once again, bend your knees here and let your feet swish side to side, rocking your pelvis side to side. All right. Then relax your feet. Let's bring the hands back under the body so that we can come all the way back up. And we're going to walk the knees in and come into child's pose with the knees nice and wide, bringing your big toes to touch, sitting your bum to your heels, walking your arms forward nice and soft in the elbows, resting the forehead down, breathing deeply. And feeling the rib cage expand with the breath. And then slowly start to walk your hands back in towards your knees, and we're going to take the legs and bring them around in front. And let's bring the soles of the feet together, and we'll make a diamond shape here. So rather than having the heels close to the groin, we'll take the heels away from the groin here. And let's bring the hands onto the feet or the ankles and gently pull the chest forward, rocking forward onto the sitting bones. And then once you've found the sitting bones under you, round through the shoulders and let the head rest down. You can take your arms under your legs if that feels better. You can keep your hands on your feet. then slowly start to bring yourself back up. Bring your knees together. Knees bent. Hug your legs into your body. Give yourself a nice big hug in. And then drop your chin down towards your chest. Relax your arms, relax your legs. Extend your legs out in front of you. And if this feels really uncomfortable, if you're feeling you're doing a lot of work in your core and your back, grab a big fat book that you can sit up on, or a firm pillow or a firm blanket. Otherwise, you can sit on the floor and the legs don't have to be super straight. We're just going to try and sit up nice and tall. Let's bend the right knee and take the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. And use your left arm to hug that right knee in towards the body. Sit up nice and tall. Then take your right hand back behind you, nice and close, and press down into that right hand to sit up tall. And then turn your chest around to the right. So don't worry so much about where you're looking as far as your head or your face, but turn the center of your chest back towards your right shoulder. Sitting up tall and keep hugging that right knee in towards the body. And then release, coming all the way back to center. And we'll release that right leg and bend your left knee and bring the foot to the outside of the right thigh. Hug in with the right arm. Sit up nice and tall. Take your left hand back behind you, again, nice and close so that you can help guide yourself up tall, and then start to turn your chest out to the left. So remember, it's the center of your chest that's moving back towards the left shoulder. It's not the head straining to go back. Another breath. And then come back to center. And extend your left leg out and give your legs a little bit of a shake there. And then we're going to come onto our backs. So let's lie down here. I'm going to turn this way. Come all the way down onto your back. And once again, we're going to bend the knees. And we're going to bring the feet as wide as the mat. And you can take your arms out wide. I have a wall here, so I'm going to take my arms overhead. And I really like my arms overhead. But your arms can be out wide. You can be in goalposts. You can have arms overhead with the elbows soft. You just want comfortable arms, really. And then with the feet as wide as your mat, let your knees drop side to side. And again, take your time. The only power we have is the power in the present moment. So we have to make that conscious effort to be present, to stay connected. Remind yourself that you are present. You are right here, you are right now. Now the next time that your knees drop over to the right, take your left knee on top of your right and roll all the way onto the right side of your body, all the way. Take your left hand on top of your right. And then take your left arm all the way up to the sky. Reach that left arm back behind you as far as you can. Take the back of the left shoulder as close to the mat as possible, and then take that left arm out to the left. Or if you're like me and you've got a wall in the way, I'm going for a goalpost. But I'm taking the back of the left shoulder, the weight into the back of the left shoulder so that I can bring it to the mat. And if my left knee was to lift away from my right thigh, and sometimes it does, I wouldn't care. I just want that back of the left shoulder down. And you can turn your head in whichever way feels most appropriate for you right now. And then let's come back to center with the hips to center and bring your knees to the feet to the outer edges of the mat again. Excuse me. Oh, I've gone all kinds of skewed. And then let your knees drop side to side a few times. Again, take your time. I need to scooch over. Okay, and then the next time that your knees drop all the way over to the left, we're gonna roll all the way onto the left side of the body. Take your right arm with you, and then reach your right arm all the way up to the sky. Reach it all the way back to the right. Take the weight into the back of the right shoulder, and twist. And settling into the sensation. Sometimes we come into a twist and it's like, whoa. And then we breathe for a few moments and we're like, whoa. So just see what happens. Don't make any decisions straight away. And then come back to center. Bring your feet back to the mat. Bring your hips back to center. Bring your hands onto your body. If you want to grab a blanket or another layer here, now's the time to do that. And we're going to come to Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet together. Hands onto the body and close your eyes here. And let's bring the right hand onto the belly, spread the fingers wide, and the left hand onto the center of the chest. See if you can relax your shoulders. And slow the breath and close the eyes and feel the hands. Feel them moving with your breath. And then when you're ready, extend your legs. And release your arms by your sides. And get as comfortable as you can for your Shavasana. Stay here. Stay here for as long as you can. Letting yourself rest, letting yourself be. Letting the effects of this practice sink in. Namaste.